relaxing, entertaining, or serving up dinner in the warmer months, the deck, well, it's the space that can do it all. So I want to celebrate this great all-rounder and give it the attention it truly deserves, and maybe even make it a perfect place for a party at home. So I'm thinking fiesta, siesta. Can you see where I'm going with this makeover? Now this deck, well, it's in pretty good condition. It just needs splashes of colour. So instead of doing anything structurally, everything here will be cosmetic, stuff you can do at home. This fabric is ideal. There are so many great shades in here. I could pick out any of them. But what I've done is I've been able to colour match just a couple of shades, this beautiful mustard yellow and this lovely turquoise blue. Now, as to the actual type of paint you use, you could use craft paints when you're doing something like this outside, but you need some durability when things are exposed to the weather. So this will become my backing board for my artwork, and I'm going to hang that against the wall. So I've chosen to use a water-based enamel paint. This is a lot tougher than ordinary craft paints. It's the sort of paint that you see me using on furniture and skirting boards and doors, and being outside, it means it's going to stand up to the weather and it won't chip or fade. So starting off, what I'm going to do is paint out the bulk of the board with my mustard yellow, right down to a masking tape line, and then under that, I'll remask and start to add the blue. Look at that, super sharp line. See, that trick of painting over your masking tape with your base coat colour really does work. It stops all of the paint from bleeding out. So, good result. For the decoration part, what I'm going to do is paint little triangles. I've just cut up dish sponges, and you can start in the middle, you can do them upside down. Let's have a play, shall we? Tape is by no means a permanent fixing, but it's going to help to hold it in place just while we work. Yeah? See if the tape works. Your hand. Even if you're not that handy, a timber screen is such an easy thing to build and can hide a multitude of sins. So for our deck, we've got a bit of an ugly corner up where the eave is. So I'm making a fretwork panel to go across to introduce a bit of a decorative element. To save even more time, instead of cutting these lengths individually, what I'm doing is just bundling them so I can work in lots of 4. So I'll mark them and then dock them. That way, it's going to make the job so much faster. To make a fretwork screen, you will need a backing board. Now, that acts as an anchor to fix all of the battens too, but you will need to make them nice and straight. So just square up the end. So next step, use glue. That'll make it strong. You've got a nail gun, speeds things along. If not, you could pre-drill and add a small screw into there. So you could then use the spacer so every single gap is equal, and for that I'm just using a scrap of timber. Pop on the next button, bit of glue, and then just keep pinning and gluing and work your way along. When you're designing your fretwork screen, you can decide to have all of your lengths exactly the same. That will give you a flush finish. Otherwise, you can stagger it like I'm doing here, which is perfect for the Mexican theme. You can just go over very lightly at the end just to touch up where you filled and to take care of any nicks. So once this is dry, we can hang it on the wall. By hanging the fretwork away from the wall instead of flush up against it, it actually gives this whole space more dimension. It's almost like a 3D canopy. So by the time we put a bench here, which will act as a bar, we're going to have a very cool, entertaining corner. For a large deck like this, I think a cosy daybed in the corner is an absolute must. Now, I'm starting with breeze blocks just as the feet and the supports. That will allow the air to flow in underneath. Now, as for the deck itself, pallets. You know, I'm going with that recycling, repurposing theme. And for a little bit of softness on top, a camping mattress. Now, what I like most about this idea is nothing there is permanent, so when summer's over, the whole thing can easily be collapsed and packed away. Look at that, so good. Another piece of second-hand timber just completes this look, makes a fantastic servery. I want to repurpose as much as I can and also dig around the garden for gold. And I reckon I might have just found it. An old piece of Oregon that I can put to good use. I know it probably seems a little far-fetched, but trust me, this is going to look amazing. Did I say trust me? That's what Ed always says. There's something so very satisfying about sanding back an old piece of timber like this. You're never going to get it perfect, and that's what's so good about it. You're going to have all of these knots and little crevices. Obviously, just dust it off, and then you can seal it up. I just like an ordinary paste wax. Quick coat of this, and I reckon we can turn this into a beautiful bar for our new deck area. You could choose to use varnish, you could go with an oil. I'm thinking we should make this into kind of like a skinny bar bench that you can sit up at. So one side will be cantilevered against the handrail, and the other side, of course, does need a leg. And that's where my good mate Scotty comes in, because look at this, it's genius. He found this on the side of the road. It is the perfect look. Thank you, Scotty.
You're
Can't
welcome.
argue at the price. Now, if you can clean that one up for me.
I always get the dirty job.
Yeah, you do. I'm going to take this out of your way. Thank you.
Lovely.
Party or a barbecue, you're always after extra bench space, so that's why this is such a cool idea. 2 timber battens at this end, and this literally sits over the top of the handrail. You don't have to fix it down at any way. So the stump, it looks so good. Well done. It's come up beautifully with that angle grinder, so much gorgeous character. That just sits under this end. We pop some glue in there, screw it down. So basically the whole thing is semi-permanent. We could move it anywhere along the handrail and take it away altogether if we want to. Good idea if you rent, and also if you don't want to fix anything permanently to the deck. Pretty cute, isn't it? Such a neat idea, and what I love is that if you don't like it in that position, you can move it along here too. So it's a good idea for people like me who like to change their minds about where they place furniture. These stools are by no means new, but they're too good to throw away. So what I'm doing is bringing them up to date with a splash of colour. They have such great backs, but they're full of texture, which is really awkward with a paintbrush. So the easiest way to prime them is with a spray can. Make sure you wear a mask. I find a lot of people get a little bit nervous about painting bold colours on their walls. So I think a great way to get into it is to actually start by painting pieces of furniture. By doing bold colours on chairs and on tables, you can introduce little pops to a space, and it really does make a difference. It doesn't take a lot of paint, less than a litre, to do a good set of chairs. And if you change your mind next year, you can always change the colour. I don't reckon you can have a party without a few party lights, do you? These ones I'm simply holding in place with cable ties, no damage. It's all the heavy work done. Time to get this party started. The mattress, I've just used the fabric that was my original inspiration for this whole makeover. And for the side here, what we've done is just screwed down some more of that scrap timber. It acts as a really cool little side table. It's the little touches that make all the difference. This was that original mustard colour I painted the back wall, and now we've added that through the fabric and also in the flowers. Gerbras look so cute in these little Italian tomato tins, free, and they make the cutest little retro vases. Whether you're in the mood to entertain or just kick back and relax, surely this is the place to be. And you know, the best part is you don't have to leave home to achieve it. So hopefully this has inspired you to maybe create your very own Fiesta Siesta.